Winter driving is a different animal. It can be icy, it can be dicey, it can be downright treacherous. Got to get prepared for it. It's coming. It's around the corner. Craig Campbell has some answers for us. He is with Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac certified service here in Calgary. Let's talk about this. It's all about the rubber, and we're going to get to tires in a second, but the rubber that you see first and foremost, because I have a theory, if you can't see, you can't drive, and the wipers are huge this time of the year.
Yeah, and this one thing we tend to forget about until you're on the highway, and then it's too late because you can't see. A lot of folks will have these. That's just that conventional blade, and that's where you've all done it before. That's where the ice builds up and all this stuff, and they don't flex and they don't work as well, and they only clean that one small part of the glass that you're trying to peek through.
You know me better than I know myself.
There you go, man. So that might be on your car right now. What you should be looking for now is like kind of new generation. We call it a beam blade. You can see it's already flexible, but the one thing is it doesn't have that structure on there, so the ice doesn't build up. You can actually get a winter version of this as well, where the rubber on it actually stays more flexible the colder it gets as well. So it's not a bad investment. Now's the time you should be switching your wipers before it's too late.
I never thought in terms of, you think a lot about winter tires, right? But in terms of the wipers, different for the season. And like you say, maybe it's like Halloween when they say do your smoke alarms. In the winter, work on those wipers, because it's a once a year thing and it's a good investment.
Yeah, that's what you're looking through. It's probably the easiest, cheapest thing, and right now we buy one, get one on, so it's a kind of a no-brainer for you.
Yeah, it takes care of itself. From one type of rubber to another, and now this is interesting because I thought, oh, you know, Craig's got a nice prop here. You're telling me that's not exactly a prop. That was actually used.
Yeah, we didn't go and take this to a racetrack, and this came off an actual customer's vehicle, and you can see it even has some uneven wear on there, so there was an issue with the vehicle, but they even let it go that far. In the summertime, these suck. That's horrible.
Rain even, that would be an issue in the summer.
It's just not the right thing you want to have on it. Remember, your car only has these 4 little patches on the ground, and that's what you let it go to. That's just not safe.
It's a little scary. Now, you move from here to the all season. Now, the thing is, I've always heard people say, I got a new vehicle, I've got all seasons, or, oh, you know what, I don't need winter tires, all seasons do me. You say that's not the case.
Yeah, I want you to think that in Canada, welcome to Canada, these are 3 season tires, right? And basically, as soon as it gets to the winter time, there's a few differences. The rubber that's on this will actually firm up at 7 degrees and less. And as soon as they start to firm up, they don't flex and they don't work as well, right? So now you move to a winter tire like the one down here. The biggest thing, the rubber composition is different. So the colder it gets, these still stay nice and flexible. But you can see the lines in there, we call those sipes. And that means that when they flex, they're kind of like little fingers that kind of grip right into the snow and ice and give you that traction. Because a 4-wheel drive vehicle, you think, great, I got less great traction. Remember, as soon as you hit the brakes though, that traction goes away.
Gripping is important, and I think a lot of the guys and gals out there who think they've got the monster trucks, that's one thing, but when that car is 15 feet in front of you and you got the red light, that's go time.
Yeah, absolutely. One other point on this, when you do put your winter tires on, come back to us about a week later and we'll just check the torquing to make sure they're on there nice, because different temperatures, that metal can flex. We just want to make sure you're safe.
Time and time again you hear that when you go for put the winter tires back on. Come back in a week and you kind of forget about it. But it's all safety.
It's all about safety, and it's a quick, easy thing, and it's free. It takes a couple seconds to check them, just make sure they're good.
Craig Campbell, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac certified service here in Calgary. More coming up. I think we're going to go inside, is that right?
Yep.
Under the hood in a bit. You've got your winter boots out, you've got your jacket, but is your vehicle ready for the new season? Ooh. It's frosty just thinking about it, isn't it, folks? Craig Campbell with us now, and Craig is with Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac certified service in Calgary. And Craig, it's interesting because time and time again I think, oh, got the oil change ready, I'm good to go. You say that's the starting point, and once you get in, that's the chance into the dealership, getting somebody certified to take a look at it. You've got a full chart here, right?
Yeah, and oil change is the lifeblood of your vehicle, so it's important. You should be doing it regularly, but if you just do your oil, it's not enough. We call this our multi-point vehicle inspection, but basically what you're looking at is it's your doctor's check. We'd rather you come in and we check things and tell you that everything's green, everything's great. You'll notice we got green, yellows, and reds on there. That means we'll be able to tell you some things before they become expensive issues as well. Come in and get it checked. An oil change is not enough. This is your doctor's report, making sure that your vehicle is great and you don't have anything to worry about. Yeah. Because you know that when the wheels come off and you're switching your winter tires out, we can take a closer look at your brakes, and you get, this is a real customer's brake pad.
Whoa.
I know, when you look at that, that's just all shiny, and they would have noticed some noise way before them, but they let it go. We would have been able to catch it way earlier and advise the customer that it's time to put some new brakes on.
Look at the difference here. And the bonus is it'll sing to you, so you know.
I know, but turn the radio up, you don't even hear it. These are important things, obviously, for stopping. So part of that inspection, we also test things like your battery, and especially especially this time of year, that's kind of something that's important because the battery gets destroyed when it gets hot and cold and hot and cold, but you never notice it until that -30 morning when you need it the most.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to tell you again, if it's green, if it's yellow, you should switch it because we'd hate for it to get that red side, right? Yeah. That's kind of part of it.
It's never on a Sunday on the way for a coffee, right? It's in the middle of the highway for sure.
Of course.
This is cool here, and you know what? When I say cool, I'm saying it purposely because you got to make sure you got the right fluid in there, or you're going to be freezing up.
Yeah, that's your windshield washer fluid, and again, that's what helps get all that salt and grime off your glass. What you should be looking for this time of year, though, is if you've seen that stuff and it's cheap and it says -30 on it. When you think about -30, it means it won't freeze in the reservoir. But that -30 is a methanol in there, an alcohol. And when you spray it in the glass, if it's -30, it actually evaporates really quickly, and that's when you get that frost that builds up. So look for something that's higher than -30, a -35, a -40, and then some, especially around here, because it does get pretty cold.
Yeah, and you're driving 100 on the Deerfoot. Imagine what it feels like on that windshield. Safety is first, and the last thing you want, and that's why this is not for their benefit, for the certified dealerships, it's for your benefit. You've got everything taken care of, but if it gets down to it, the first aid kit and your road kit.
Yeah, I mean, I love it out here because you can go and do lots of great winter things, but if something happens, we hope it doesn't, and you slide in the ditch or something goes on, having that safety kit, the blanket, the candle, all the usual stuff. But I think the most important part that you should have is check it to make sure whether it's a flare or one of those little glow sticks or even just a flashlight, because if you slide in the ditch and people don't know you're there, then you're in trouble and then it gets really cold. This is a way, especially when it gets dark at 4 o'clock, to make sure people know you and they'll make sure you get the help you need.
Craig, I've got my work cut out for me. Thank you very much.
Hey.
Craig Campbell, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac Certified Service here in Calgary.